Welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card put to the Cancerians you have is the Gazelle. And further it says, grace under fire, sensitivity as instinct, swift, elegant movement towards safety. So here we have this Gazelle, right? And look at the ears, like fully alert. Look at the horns. They look like, the Anthony. And then this is the air suit. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius are the air archetypal elements of the zodiac. Air elements are, very fast with thinking, with ideas. And this energy of the Gazelle is more about responding fast, quick responses. It's also about how you're able to quickly pick up the small signs in the room. It's not about fear. It's just that you're so much tuned that you being the cardinal water sign, you're highly intuitive, at all times. But here, your senses are extremely heightened. It's like not a fearful energy, but a highly alert energy, where you're ready. You're ready to receive, you're ready to move, you're ready to decide. And not in a panic way, with a lot of grace, with a lot of elegance. And, the thing about Gazelle is that they're so sensitive, that immediately as soon as they pick up the signs, they know exactly what to do. They do it fast, but in a very graceful way. They don't show that they have picked up the signs or something is wrong. They just know the next action and they do it. So very sharp instincts, very sharp intuition. Also, Mercury is retrograde in your sign, Cancerians. So just be careful with what you say, what you do, because Gazelle is a fast response. It's an impulsive response, so just be a little bit mindful of what you're writing, what you're saying, and how you're doing things, because it might change the trajectory of the future. Like for example, is like if somebody sends you an email or somebody sends you a text, and it could be, something that you perceive as not in alignment with you. It could be tangent to what you had expected, or it could be a little bit harsh, doesn't have to be, but it could. Now, for you right now, especially with the Mercury in retrograde, you need to take a pause. Read that email, read that text, read that document carefully. Pause for a moment, understand what it truly means, and then take your next step. Don't be impulsive. That's the only caution with this. Now, also, if you see the Gazelle moving, they are very, small, that they don't jump like tigers, It's a lighter energy. They move fast. It's a faster energy, but it's also like lightweighted. It's not heavy like the elephant or the tiger sleep, So I feel that whatever you do, whatever decision you decide to make or whatever step you decide to take, make it lighthearted. Don't make it a heavy move. Don't make it a dramatic move. Don't act or react with drama or dramatically. So if you are in a situation, where, things are getting heated up, or you're just not liking where you are, maybe it's a group, maybe it's in your family conversations, whatever this is, if you feel a situation is a little bit offline or out of line, then instead of being dramatic or acting or responding dramatically, you can just walk out of there. You can just excuse yourself with a small thing like, oh, sorry, excuse me, I just need to make a call, and just leave that situation and don't come back to it. You can go home, or you can just, continue with another task or another work, or leave the space, whatever needs to be done. So for that moment, that conversation, that heated situation is, just exited. Now, this doesn't have to be a heated situation. It could be a situation where you're picking up the instincts. It could be, I don't know. Let's say, for example, if you need to buy an item and you go to a store and you see the price and you're like, oh my God, it's so expensive. And if the item is a little bit expensive and you're like, oh, you know what? And you see there is a sale which is coming up and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just read until midnight because this item is going to be on sale. And you read that, or you get a notification of that and you skip buying the item in store and get it in sale. This is just an example, but something like that. So you will be picking up on things, you'll be able to read the room a little faster than others, picking up on things and signs faster than others, your Cancerians. And the good thing about gazelle energy is that you will know exactly what to do. Just do it without drama. Do it in a light-hearted fashion. Now, for some of you, this could be an energy of you wanting to feel lighter, Like for some of you, you might be, taking to activities that make you feel lighter. Like, I don't know, maybe exercise, or maybe, just go out there or binge watch or whatever that is for you. But I feel that this is like an energy of feeling lighter. Whatever makes you feel lighter, whether it's just going out with friends, talking, something to release any kind of stress and pressure you would really benefit from that. I also feel that some of you might want to declutter or remove excess things from your house or your wardrobe or your closet, whatever that is, and you want to feel a little lighter by releasing things, by removing things. For some of you, it could be that energy, and you know exactly, like which items you might need in future, and the ones that are completely not going to be used, and you use that that sense to just donate the items or to give away items that you sense are not going to be used at all in future. The next card you have, Cancerians, is the card number 20, and it says, keep your temper. Further, it says, don't allow anger to rule you. Yeah, now if you look at the picture, there is this, there's cute little girl, Alice. And if for those of you who have seen the Alice in Wonderland, there is an innocence about Alice. But then alongside there is a cat out there. And, this cat that has these green eyes, this grin, look at the smile. Yeah, it's a cute little cat, but this is the Cheshire cat. And Cheshire cat is a little different energetically. It's like a cat that can disappear, appear, and, can stir up things wherever this cat appears, wherever she appears, right? So it's a little bit of a tricky energy out here. Now, for you, Cancerians, there is already a Mercury retrograde which is happening in your side, which means that, you might interpret things wrongly, you might say things wrongly, there might be glitches, you might not receive responses, whereas other person sent it, or you might not receive messages or communication which you thought you should be. But, sometimes the device crashes, or sometimes the person's held up, or it just slips their mind, or something happens which you take seriously and personally, but actually that's not the situation in reality. That's the biggest problem with Mercury retrograde. Systems just break down out of nowhere. The sparks are flying out of nowhere. Communication goes haywire out of nowhere. Emotions get stored up out of nowhere. And especially with this Cheshire cat, the underlying sentiment is that you might be interpreting things or feeling a little bit more sentimental or emotional over things that, that really don't have that intention. People don't say it that with that intention, but you take it personally. And then it drives you crazy. And then you get, really, you say something or, it just causes a lot of drama, it causes a stir in the conversation. So here for you Cancerians, and also there is Mars energy which is playing out, which could actually cause you to burst out, or furious or angry or just, react and respond in a very negative way or harsh way to people. And you already saw that energy, Gazelle, because Gazelle is like, Gazelle is that sensitivity, like you're feeling extremely sensitive. And here this Cheshire cat is like, somebody will say something which is not personal, but it could stir up an emotion in you. Maybe it hurts you, but they did not say it for you to be hurt, but it still hurt you. So here the word of caution for you Cancerians is to, first of all, not take things personally at all, because it will feel like a personal comment or a remark, but it really is not. And even if it is a personal remark, it's not that heavily said, or it's not that harshly meant as you might pick up to be. Because, you're ruled by Mars, and Mars sensitive, you're ruled by a moon. And the moon sensitivity at this point in time can also stir up emotions in you, which maybe are from the past. It's like you've been hurting over something else or someone or another situation, but it comes out in this particular situation. It comes out at the wrong time or in the wrong place or on the wrong person. So for you right now, what you need to understand is, like, what is it that's frustrating you? What is it that's making you angry? And if you are angry, then, the best thing to do for this energy is to, to just, in a gentle way, say it out loud that, oh, that hurt, or I'm angry or something like that, without actually creating a drama. So if you can verbally, gently express it and just leave it at that, people will pick up and people will get the message. And that's all that is needed at this point in time. There is no need to be aggressive or furious or storm out or blow up. See, if you're able to contain the anger and release it in a more gentle way, that becomes your superpower. And that's exactly what's needed at this point in time. So, because this will really help you if you're able to diffuse a situation in a way which conveys your message that, whatever the thing was, the communication was, did not land well. So you're able to communicate that, but at the same time, you handled it so gracefully. This is a skill which is going to be appreciated by, everyone who is around you at that point in time. So, try to soften the blow as much as you can. And the last card for today, Cancerians, you have is a message from the universe. And it says, and this is card number 36, it's the World card. And further it says, be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. So look at this beautiful earth, out here. It's glowing. It's like, there's a lot of stars out here if you see in this picture. It's like there is something which is completing out here for you, some phase, some thinking, some mindset, the way you see things, a perception, something out here is coming to a close. I feel that you've been playing too small, or you have been limiting yourself, or you've been, kind of stuck in a certain way of thinking, or stuck in a small place. I feel that this is like breaking open the cage. I feel that old things that are old ways of thinking about yourself or about the possibilities or what you should do, what you should not do, how you should act, how you should react, all of that, I feel that kind of, maybe it's like a personality shift that you're going through, like, I'm not going to play it small anymore. And I feel that once you decide that you're going to tap into new areas, new avenues, new possibilities, and this could be in any area of your life, whether it's in careers or in your family or in the way you do life or anything. And it could be spiritual beliefs or practices. Like you could be thinking that, oh my God, the routine that I have is, just not working for me and I got to fix this. I have to like follow a different kind of a routine. I'm done with this. Maybe it's like you were working 2 shifts or you were working night shift and you're like, I'm done with night shifts. I got to just work the morning job or something like that, some kind of a routine or perception or career. Something is changing out here for you because just the mindset of yours is changing. You're rising above the petty things. You're rising above the small beliefs or limitations that you thought you had, or maybe the society or external environment put on you, but you're rising above that. And once you decide that, Cancerians, things are going to change for you. The new doors are going to open that you had never imagined for you. New possibilities, new opportunities coming from left, right, and center, which you had not expected, Because, why? Because earlier you were just like, just doing things day in, day out, just that same style, same way. Now with the changes that you're making, maybe it's a habit, maybe it's some pattern, maybe it's perception, whatever that is for you, you're breaking out of that. Something in you is shifting very deeply. And that's going to open new doors. It's going to bring in new opportunities. And, I feel that you're going to grow. This is a change in your in your thought process, and this is also going to help you to grow further. It's going to grow you, expand you in a lot of ways. So great messages out here, Cancerians, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Scorpio. So the first card you have for today, Scorpio, is the Black Egg, and it's in the reverse for you. So Black Egg in the reverse, a black egg in the upright is about something which is, a potential, something which is building, something that you don't have to rush. Now, the same black egg is toppled on the other side, right? It's toppled over, it's reversed, which means that there is something which is building, which you are creating, which is working behind the scenes, is ready to come out. Almost ready to come out, whether it's a project you've been working on, whether it's a certain kind of situation, a relationship, or, anything. This could be anything, your business, your project. It could be anything that you have been working on behind the scenes, but you have not made it public as yet. You have not told anybody. You have not announced it. I don't know if this is about a move or this is about a career change, company change, a situation change, whatever this is, it has been forming in the background, but you have not revealed it to anybody. And I feel that is, in the reverse, the black egg is also about discerning. Like, yes, because the black egg is ready to be hatched. In the upright, it's not ready to be hatched. It's like still building, whatever it is, it's kind of working in the background, it's forming and things like that. But when it's in the reverse, it is about to hatch. But the only caveat is that you break it open, Scorpio, sooner than you need to. So either this is something that you find out or something that you're working on. Maybe you have not announced it as yet. And I feel that you have to be very careful about when you announce it, because it is going to hatch. It is going to come out right off this shell. When does that happen is going to be up to you. It's for you to decide right now. Like, when are you going to tell it to people? When are you going to announce it, or when are you going to talk about it? Whether this is to a boss that you're going to tell that, you're quitting your job because you have another job and you've been working at it, you've been applying, you've been preparing, you've been upskilling. For some of you, it could be that. For some of you, it could be telling, maybe your family about a situation. Maybe you're interested in somebody who want to get married or take the next steps, or it could be vice versa. You could be deciding to leave a certain situation. It could go either ways. And whatever your situation is, I feel that you need to wait it out just a tad bit more before you make it public, or before you confirm it, or before you make that announcement. Because it's not fully ready to be announced as yet. Maybe you don't have enough data, you don't have the full information. Maybe you need to research up a little bit. You need to take some notes or make some notes and things like that. So you're not fully ready to announce. And when if you talk about it a little earlier, you may not have the right facts, you may not have the right data, you may not have the right things that you want to say, and it will feel like a very, it'll feel like very unpolished or raw way of doing it, which is very not a Scorpio way to handle things, Scorpio energy is a lot of depth. You're a fixed water sign. You have the depth. You have the know-how. You have the skill, the grace on how to, announce it, how to say it and what to say. From the depth you understand. You have that highly intuitive personality, that's the Scorpio archetypal energy about you know exactly what to say and when to say it, you feel it so strongly. So you need to tap into those intuitive reserves, your discernment, even some data. You probably need to research something up, or you need to frame sentences. You need to write it down. Like if you're going to announce it, what exactly are you going to say it? The highlights, the points, so that you have answers to all questions. So if the black again, the reverse is like you're not prepared yet, you're half prepared. So you need to either do a little bit more research, or you need to get the facts, some more facts, research things yourself, or write down, like, what exactly are you going to see? What are you going to talk about? If this is about a negotiation, then put up all the points, the pros and cons, and all of that. So before you bring it, before you announce it, before you lift the veil on it. Now, for some of you, this could be happening around you, where a lot of things were buried, and now things are coming to the surface, and now things are being reopened. Things and situations are being reconsidered, whether with your company or your family. It could be that past matters that were buried under the rug are now coming to the surface, and people are ready to talk about it or think about it or plan next steps, next action, or something like that could also be happening. Whether at your workplace, it could be even globally, it could be even around in your neighborhood, or it could be at a global level as well. So be prepared with what exactly you want to say it and how exactly you want to reveal it, so that you have the required information, and in your heart of hearts, that you're doing the right thing, and you don't have to keep it to yourself. You don't have to be secretive about it. You don't have to guard a closed secret is what I'm getting. Like you're guarding something. You're guarding a secret and information or something like that. Now, if this is about a decision that you have to make and you're weighing the pros and cons, I feel that you're almost ready with the answers, but not fully yet. So just wait it out for a few more hours or a few more days before you make the decision, before you call the shot. Before you confirm something and things like that. So just, if that is in regards to your next steps or decisions, then don't be in a rushed state or hurried state before you make it. The next card I do have, Scorpio, for today is Painting the Roses Red, number 27. So 2, 7, and 9 are coming through strong with this energy. Further, it says covering up errors. So if you see over here, there is Alice, of course. Alice, when it comes to Alice, there is an innocence about Alice, right? Over here, she's kneeling down in the peony rose bushes, and she has a paintbrush, and she has a red paint. And she's like, it looks like she's covering up or correcting some kind of a mistake before anybody else can see it, right? Especially she's here in, she wants to avoid this queen's anger in this kingdom, in the place where she's pinning the roses. So, it feels like Alice is trying to cover it up. She's tearful. She's trying to deceive the queen. But if you think about it, there is this energy of knowing exactly where the correction is being made. knowing exactly where that fix, the Band-Aid, is being applied. So the truth, this vine flower, we already know that the flower is white and she's trying to cover it up. Right? We can see it over here. So I feel that, and especially for you, Scorpio, like, your energy it's the 8th archetypal energy, which is about depth and things which are not visible, the hidden things and all of that. So Scorpionic energy is very much, has the capability to see beneath the surface, to see what's going on, beneath the appearances. So I feel that, there is a lot of, I feel this energy is not about anything that you did is wrong, but it's about giving you that perspective and the clarity to know and to see, like, where exactly is the problem? What exactly are you doing? And especially with, Mercury retrograding in Cancer, which is your sister water sign, there is something here which you need to pay close attention to here, Scorpio. I don't know if it's something that you have done at work or in your personal life, something that you feel is not wrong, is not right. Maybe you think it's wrong and you're quietly correcting it before anybody else gets to see it or know it. And I feel that if this is some kind, if this thing comes under, is not ethical, then I feel that instead of sneakily going in and fixing things, you need to say it outright. You need to discuss it, own the mistake, and then correct it, rather than, going behind the scenes and when nobody's looking and then fixing it up. That would not be the right approach for it. Because, it's not easy to keep things away from people. We'll be constantly worried, like, oh, I hope nobody saw it. I hope nobody says this and that. And that really weighs on our heart and mind, It's very hard to keep secrets. It takes a lot of energy. So there's no point. There is no need for it. You can just be open about it, own your mistake, and then fix it, Now, if this is in regards to your personal matter, it could be in regards to your finances. Like, something went wrong and now you're trying to cover it up. Some kind of a slip up that happened. It could be in a relationship. It could be in your finances. So it's better to talk it out, to discuss it. It's, nothing to be ashamed of. Each one of us is a work in progress. We all, learn from making mistakes. That's evolution, and that's how it is. So just say it what it is, and then, and then make the correction, make the fix. And there are so many workarounds and solutions once you've been honest, and in that way, people are also going to be trusting of you. So if that's a situation, then it's better to be open and upfront about it. Now, for some of you, this could be a situation that you're facing on your own. It could be some situation that you're dealing with and you cannot, you feel that you cannot share it with anybody, and you're like trying to put up a brave front and all smiles, and whereas there is something really difficult that you're trying to work through, on the inside. But surface level, you're all just, all smiles about it. For some of you, it could be that as well, and if that's your situation, Scorpio, it would be better to look for support and see how you can get somebody in your inner circle or somebody close to you who would understand the situation and who would be able to keep it to themselves. And at the same time, you'll feel lighter if you're able to share it out with them. So reach out to some support person or support group or network, online or offline, that can help you work the situation out if that's the case for you. Now, for others of you, if you think that something is going on beneath the surface and people are trying to put up, nature look or appearances, or something is way too shiny and it looks all nice, too good to be true, then I feel that your spidey instincts are going to tell you that there is something else which is brewing underneath the surface, and you need to look that up or research or ask around about it. So you're not going to buy into that shine and, all the jazz. You're going to be doing your own investigation to understand what is going on beneath the surface. And the last card for today, Scorpio, you have is a message from the universe, and it says, Phoenix, number 25. So 2, 5, and 7 are coming too strong with this energy. Further, it says, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. Yeah, I do feel that, Scorpio, this might be something that you're trying to work underneath. You have not announced it to people. You're putting up a brave front, I feel. The Phoenix energy is about rebuilding, right? Coming out stronger on the other side. So you might be trying to address some issue. You might be trying to figure something out. You might be trying to handle a difficult situation. Some kind of a tricky situation or difficult situation that you probably have not been able to announce it or show it to people or talk to people. The energy of the Phoenix is that, it's something that is definitely hard that you have been through. Some kind of a situation which has been hard. I don't know. And that could be in any area of your life. But it definitely shows up when, the Phoenix, it completely burns and then it rises strongly, right? It comes out strong on the other side, but the rises after it has fully burnt down. But when it comes out on the other side, it's way strong. We don't want more wiser, more knowledgeable, more powerful than ever before. So there is something which you are dealing with, but whenever you're done with this, and I promise you will be done with it very, very soon, whatever you will go through, it's like it's going to become the fuel for you here, Scorpios. This is a rebirth energy. You are being reborn into something else, something more powerful, and you will never be the same again. You will never be what you were before this. So just hang in there, Scorpio. Trust the process, trust the timing. You will get through this, and I promise it's going to be sooner than what you might be feeling at this point in time. So stay tight, and if possible, just reach out to a support network to help you through this. There is no need in today's times to deal with it and do it all alone. Get the help that you need to make this easier for yourself. So, Scorpio, those were your messages. Now moving on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card, pretty Pisces, you have is the dolphin energy, and it's in the reverse for you. So dolphins are very playful creatures, right? They swim underwater, they enjoy, and they know exactly when they need to come up in the air, come up outside the water in order to grab the air, to breathe. But here with the dolphin energy reversed, which means that the dolphin is submerged in the water for way too longer. It forgot to come up to breathe. And I feel this energy is quite a lot of your archetypal energy here, Pisces, because you're the mutable water sign, and this is, of course, the water sign over here. This is the water energy. So I feel that, either you have been too busy, too involved, too immersed, trying to solve everybody else's problem, and you've forgotten about your own health, your own well-being, your own need for space, rest, recharge, recovering, and all of that. I think you've been, just like the regular Piscean energy, you've been helping other people, doing favors, listening to other people, responding to them, fulfilling their needs, kind of being their support system, being their guide. You're trying to be a lot to a lot of things to a lot of people, stepping up in different situations, feeling the room, reading the energy, trying to help people, trying to say the right things, do the right things, be there. And I feel that has been exhausting you. You're burnt out here, Pisces. I feel this is a call for help from your side, from your inner soul. It's like, listen, you need rest too, right? So I feel that This is just a reminder to you, Pisces, that you're overstretched. You have been over immersed into doing a lot and being a lot for a lot of situations and people out there. Now it's time to care for your own self. Give it that time, that rest, the self-care, the love that you need for yourself. So don't forget that. Now, for some of you, this could be an overpacked schedule that you have. You have no time to breathe, one thing after another. Too many commitments, too many things going on, either too many projects you have undertaken, or you're stretched and pulled in so many different directions that you have no time to look after yourself, no time to sleep, no time to eat well, or to just, to do things that you like to do, or pursue some kind of hobby that actually, that relaxes you, So you don't have the time for that. And this is exactly what you need right now. That's your medicine, Rest and recharge. That's your need of the hour right now that you need to pay attention to before you get burnt out. Now, for some of you, this could be an internal exhaustion as well. Like you've been carrying too many burdens. You've been carrying the weight of a lot of situations. People come and share their problems with you. You've been carrying way too much and it's weighing on you. So I feel that you yourself needs somebody to share it with, so that you feel lighter. So I feel that the good thing for you right now would be to either, seek therapy or go out in nature, spend time in nature, or it's like, to adopt some spiritual practices, like on a daily basis, some kind of a ritual that helps you connect with the higher power, the higher sources, and to release that heaviness so that, you need to take care of your well-being as well, spiritually, mind, body, heart, and soul. Everything needs to be taken care of. And I feel that you don't have the time for it, or you've just been neglecting it for way too long. So this is a call, a reminder for you to take care of yourself as well. The next card, Pisces, you have for today is card number 6. And it says choices. Further, it says feeling blocked and restrained. So I feel that, Pisces, at this point in time, if you see here, there is this person, this Alice, right? And when it comes to Alice, it's always a very innocent energy, here there is this Alice that is leaning on a table, and she's kind of at a crossroads, and I feel that there is something which is weighing on her, and she understands how important this decision is for her. So the choice or the crossroad where you are at, I feel it is serious one, and it actually matters to you, and I feel that you're almost there. You already know what the answer is. You may not feel it that way, but I feel that you already know. It's just that you're unable to get an external. Either you need some external validation or confirmation that what you're thinking, what you're choosing is right. Or you're trying to just wait it out for a few days, and you're trying to see that, is it something that you still feel after a day or two or in a week, or is there a shift in your emotional feeling in regards to a certain path? But the thing here, now this could be in regards to in any area of your life, whether it's in regards to job offers or career changes, or, it could be situationships or city or something, some kind of a future path that you need to pick for yourself. So the dilemma is real, the weight is real, the weight of choosing is also real. And I feel that, you might be preparing like a kind of a list, pros and cons list, trying to see which one weighs more. You can also talk to people, your trusted circle, friends, family about it, I feel that you are getting some kind of an opinion. I don't know if you are trying to get it from friends, some external environment, but you are trying to get some feedback on, what exactly is the choice that you need to make. And I feel that, when it comes to us, we're always in this dilemma. like this or that, but when it comes to other people, no, for some of you, it could be somebody else also who's stuck in a dilemma, who's asking you for opinions. This could be your environment as well. So I feel that if this is not you, then you might be trying to help people come up with a decision. But if this is you, then I feel that you can also get help, or somebody might be helping you come to a decision. It becomes easier that way. Once you talk things out, you say it out loud. Sometimes the answers come to us when we talk it out loud, when we say it to other people. So I do feel that there is some kind of a decision which you will be making very, very soon. And I feel that the future definitely depends upon this choice of yours. And I feel that you're also going to make it like a well-informed decision, like you're going to weigh it out and see like what exactly needs to be done. I also feel if you are too much anxious about it or overthinking about it or just doubting yourself, second-guessing yourself, like this, that, and the third, I feel that, very soon the answer is going to become very clear to you. So don't be anxious. I feel you will be the one that's going to make the choice. The answer is already within you. It's just a matter of, saying out loud. I feel that you already know the answer. It's just that it will be a confirmation when you say it out loud. It's going to be grounded. It's going to be sent to the universe, for the universe to help you go forward in that path. So don't make it more complex than it already is. Keep it simple. You remove all the unknown variables and all of that from your decision making and only factor the things, the facts, the data, the feeling, the emotion, the past experiences, the wisdom from that. Only factor those things in when you're making this decision, when you're making this choice. You don't have to factor the unknown here. Just keep it simple. Keeping it simple is going to benefit you to make the right decision. And the last card for today, Pisces, you have is a message from the universe. And it says unicorn. This is such a beautiful energy. Further down it says, success, hope, freedom, healing, and magic are all available to you if you just believe. So I feel that you're just feeling hopeless. I feel you're doing too much. Maybe you're not seeing the results. But here there is this unicorn, all glitter and so much. Oh, and look at the shadow of this unicorn behind it, It's a little bit more larger in size than the original white unicorn. The shadow is bigger, and that's how it is, right? Our shadow is always bigger. So I feel that it's a very magical card here for you, Pisces. I feel that you might be feeling restricted. You might be feeling tied down by too many things, maybe that you've taken on yourself, and you just don't have time to relax, to heal your own self, whether emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever that is. But all that energy is available to you if you just make the changes, if you just believe in the universe that things are possible. And I feel that you need to trust the process a little bit more. Trust the process has become such a commonly used sentence that I feel, it has taken the meaning out of it. But anyways, I'm going to say it differently. I'm going to put it a little bit differently. So I feel that you need to just trust yourself. Just trust that, you're almost there. And life is full of ups and downs, decisions, and sometimes we go through this decision fatigue, and I feel that some of you might be even feeling that fatigue of making decisions time and time again. Sometimes it's a daily thing, sometimes it's like more heavier decisions, sometimes it's lighter decision, but there is some of the other decisions that we are making on a constant basis, and that really weighs down on us, whether it's simple things like buying items, for the house itself. There is so many choices and options out there that decision fatigue also starts to weigh out on us. So I do feel that, you might be weighed down by the tasks, by the decisions, and even in the mundane, you might be really tired of making these decisions day in and day out. But just trust the timing that, things might be a little bit too heavy right now, or you might be too swamped or stretched too thin at this point in time. But then, the planetary energies right now are kind of pushing and pulling you. This is a growth phase, and you will come out of this. You will have the time to relax, or you need to make the time to relax. You need to cut back on a few things. You need to cut back on a few commitments. You need to prioritize things and prioritize yourself. And once you do that, you will know that, it's things can wait. Some things can wait. You don't have to do everything today or yesterday. So just trust yourself. Trust that, things will work out, and things are working out, and that you are worth every bit of care that you give to yourself. You are worth the time. You are worth the energy. You are worthy of love. You're worthy of everything that, that you want. You deserve every bit of it. So don't underestimate yourself. Don't talk negative about yourself. Don't think negatively about yourself, and just go with the flow. And you will get there. You will get to a point where you have the time, you have the energy, and you're feeling more powerful, more stronger than ever before. Okay? So Pisces, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.